fourth quarter, you've got Cofield, Purdy. You also have on the floor John Lassa and as well RJ Deles and Anderson. The five on the floor for Coach Nick Velasco are hanging on to the 74-67 lead and looking for their first win. There's a steal by Anderson. Ahead to Lassa. The defense of Fajardo all over him. Cofield is cornered. Tries to get away from the defense of Balagtas. Decides to go back to Lassa. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Anderson back to Lassa. Quick passing. Cofield from the corner. It's a three. Long two again.
A long two. But one thing I liked about that offensive set of Pateros is they did not involve Purdy. And it wasn't on purpose. It was not on purpose.
I wonder if it wasn't. No, but yeah, that's what you've been worried about, Dom, that everything just really revolved around Purdy.
And, as a basketball player, especially a guy like Purdy, you need to be able to know how to pace yourself. And when you talk about pace, sometimes there are certain plays that you will just let go and really try to preserve that energy in your tank, because definitely Pateros will need him in the end game.
For Malolos, they have Pangilinan and De La Cruz, Pagia. You also have Ernest Reyes on the floor as well as Balagtas. I mean, these are some of the guys that have been top scoring for them. Just couldn't get that long bomb to go. And that steal completed by De La Cruz. Ahead to Pagia, stepping back for that long bomb. No go, but Ernest Reyes to save the day.
Ernest Reyes is one of those guys that has a knack for the basketball. Always finds the ball in his hands.
I like what you said about him. He makes it look easy. He's so efficient. He doesn't waste so much movements. That's for a guy at this level, you know that he can be superior here in the FBA.
He's a player. He's a basketball player. There are people who are born to be players and scorers, and that's Ernest Reyes.
I don't think Purdy has rested enough in this ball game, but this time Coach Nick Velasco will try to reserve his energy along with Lassa.
And I like that move. They're up 7 points with a lot of time left in the fourth quarter. You want to be able to give him 2-3 minutes to be able to cool his heels.
Oliano and Unco on the floor for Coach Nick Velasco, and Unco tried to put a hand in that. Good thing he did, causing for that turnover to happen. Ball now in the hands of the white shirts. Cofield calling the play. We still have 7 minutes and 55 seconds remaining. The big question here is, will Pateros associates, the Austin Morris associates, be able to hang on and get their first win? It's always been that last quarter that's defined the outcome for Pateros.
And one thing, aside from the energy, it's really being able to share that ball in the end game, to be able to find a more open man to get a better shot.
Deles ahead to Cofield. Blocked right there by Balagtas, but quick thinking by Unco with a Anderson finish.
And that's the extra effort that you're looking for. That was a 3-on-1 all of a sudden because they had that effort to go down low.
Balagtas, nice look right there at the basket.
The key now for Malolos not to get impatient. What we haven't seen in the second half is that pressure defense of Malolos. It was very effective in the first two.
Balagtas with 13 points in this ball game. Another one of those guys that you can rely on. Pagia, though, putting a little bit of muscle, too much muscle, off of that defense against Unco. As Arambulo checks back in this ball game. Arambulo has yet to score. We'll see how Coach Nick Velasco will be using him. Anderson, too strong. Ball located by Cofield. Struggled to get that back, but they did it.
Shot clock winding down, just 6 seconds.
They go to Anderson, top of the key, pulling up right there.
And you like how they're able to pull through. It's been, 2 minutes already since Purdy has sat down, and they've actually extended the lead to 9.
And I know the Pateros Ama Associates fans are on edge, hoping that they can sustain this all the way. As Coach Tayao shuffling his players, calls on Gutierrez to check back in this ball game. Anderson on the move, looking at Cofield on the other side.
And you like how they're not rushing it. You know, this is milking precious seconds on the clock. And when you say milking, what? There's still 6 minutes, but it's really allowing you guys to be able to extend this. You have a 9-point lead, and you're prolonging your success. Meaning, prolonging it, meaning to be able to get that first win, you want to be able to make the right decisions.
Coach Tayo right here will have to deal with Purdy again as he checks back in this ball game, replacing Marco Liano. And you talked about the defense of Purdy, not just his offensive ball game, but our referees, Buddy Cortez, Don Arguelles, and Sam Del Rosario.
It looks like it's going to be a technical foul on Purdy.
For clapping on the face. Don't do that.
Well, basically, it's kind of like taunting
Exactly.
as well. So, you know, you cannot, that is not allowed.
Well, this is one of the adjustments that Purdy needs to do. It's his first game. Can't fault the man for that one. But it is a technical free throw for Malolos, cutting down this lead to just 8 now.
And they will retain possession.
And that's also what can give them a nice run that they're looking for, that Coach Taya is looking for. De La Cruz, they go to Pagya. Pagya at baseline, getting a screen off Pangilinan right there. We'll stay on this side of the floor with still 18 seconds remaining. Pangilinan asking for it. That's a 3 if it explodes. It doesn't. But here's Balagtas.
Balagtas has been proving to be, you know, a good bench player in terms of getting rebounds and points. 15 points and 7 rebounds for Balagtas.
And he's so unassuming too. That's what you like about him, because all eyes has been on Reyes. But check out that play right there coming from Unco.
And you like how they're still rotating that ball now. They've really made a conscious effort of not giving it to Purdy and just watching him.
Gutierrez hit the deck hard. And Unco will be called for his second personal, sending the much smaller in frame Gutierrez on that deck, but he is on the line for 2 as Delis checks back in to replace Anderson. So Coach Nick is always going to try to keep it fresh on the floor, making sure that his players will have enough left in them down when they go down the stretch. We still have 5 minutes and 12 remaining.
You know, it's all about the little things, getting that rebound, boxing out a little bit more, longer, stepping out, challenging that shot, and that's where you need your energy.
Biggest lead for Malolos was at 10 points. We're at 76-82, near the halfway mark of this final quarter. Stepping on the gas for Purdy, hitting the deck hard off of that effort. The referees will award Pateros this opportunity, this possession. "21 seconds, they can milk the shot clock right here, and Cofield calling for play. He's got Den De Leon in front of him. Losing his defender. Cofield going all the way. There is a whistle.
And you like how the first option now is they're spreading it out, and it's Cofield trying to break down that defense, which is something that he's been used to in the previous games before Purdy arrived for Pateros.
And he was able to fish for the second personal foul of Mark Pangilinan, as Chris Cofield will troop to the line for 2 free throws.
Haven't really taken too many free throws this ball game.
He's 0 for 3. All right, so he makes his first free throw basket. 1 of 4 so far tonight for Cofield, and I have a feeling that might not be the last time that they're going to be trying to put him on the line. Look at Malolos with that strong finish coming from Pangilinan.
I also expect Coach Tayo to put back Ernest Reyes.
As Purdy sends in top of the key. They'll reset this with 15 seconds to go on their shot clock. Purdy, in his effort to shake off Gutierrez, got the foul from Malolos as Gutierrez, a second personal.
And you can see Purdy's a little bit winded.
That worries you, me, Coach Nick, Ali Peak.
And you might expect also Coach Nick Velasco to come in maybe the last 2-3 minutes, be able to get and lock down their first win.
A screen for Cofield, a handoff for Purdy. He'll pull up. He gets another 3 to go.
And I like what he did that time because he created enough separation by allowing Cofield first, and then off that handoff, he got that jump start getting that 3-point shot once again.
Chemistry was a concern for Pateros at the start of this ball game, or should I say throughout this entire conference. But it's that chemistry, particularly between Cofield and Purdy, that's got him to this point.
And sometimes you just fit.
Right.
Just like in a relationship. You know, it's all about
you wanna go there, huh? Sometimes it's meant to be, you know? Love at first sight.
Speaking from experience.
I don't know. Oh, look at that rainbow shot by Unko. They're going to set up Purdy again. Oh, no one is looking at that shot clock. But that one actually touched the rim, so let's see how the referees will be calling this.
And right away when Coach Ali Peak stood up, the referee's trying to calm him down.
Oh, no, seriously. When he stands up, you better hear him out. Hear the man out.
Balagtas with 17 points and 7 rebounds. 6 offensive rebounds. Most of his points coming from those offensive rebounds.
Right. 14 points on that shot clock as we continue play right here with the white shirts. Possession. Pateros looking to extend this 6-point lead that they have. Coach Tayao looking at how he can steal this possible Pateros win and impress the good and hard-working mayor of Malolos, Christian Natividad, who's here watching this game, hoping that Malolos will be able to get their 3rd win.
Well, they're at 2-2 right now in the middle of the standings. On the other hand, Pateros 0-4.
And you got to feel for Pateros right here. It's always in the end game that they seem to run out of gas. Let's see if that will still hold true in this ball game with vital new cogs introduced and Coach Nick Velasco checking in.
You know, we've been talking about Pateros, we've been talking about Purdy, but guys like Deles really providing that big lift, competing against the big men of Malolos.
Pangilinan to Pagya. Handoff again to Pangilinan. 11 seconds to go. He launches. Too strong. Rebound by Balagtas. The turnaround. The basket.
And one thing I noticed about Malolos is they've been settling for those outside shots. You know, early on when they were in control of this basketball game, especially in the first and the second quarter, they were getting layups.
Ernie Reyes up against still Purdy. Dancing away from him. Locates Nick Velasco. Short on that outside attempt. Ball in the hands of Reyes and wide open. Makes him pay.
Not a good sign for Pateros. Nobody going down to try and stop Reyes.
Watch out now. It's just a 4-point ball game with still 2:11 remaining. And you can feel the sense of urgency on that floor for Pateros. They go to Deles at the corner. Purdy again. Tries to use the screen. Purdy inside, wanting to drop it. Kisses that floor.
When he attacks that basket, guys need to be able to go to the open spot and let him find them for the easy 2.
Coach Ali Peak and the rest of them will be needing this time out to try to draw things out with less than 2 minutes remaining and just a 4-point lead to protect. We'll be back from the Trinity University of Asia. De La Cruz, Pagya, Balagtas, Ernest Reyes, Pangilinan, and the rest of them will try to figure out how to keep Nick Velasco and his 4 other guys on the floor at bay. And they'll try to steal this win from Pateros, who's just trying to protect a 4-point lead, which was up by as much as 10 points earlier in this ball game. Coach Antonino Tayao looking for their 3rd win in their 5th outing.
So far, we haven't sensed that Malolos is actually panicking. That,
Not at
initially they
all.
were in control of this ball game.
Turnaround won't fall through.
Another rebound for Balagtas.
Hardworking guy put in a lot of effort. There's De La Cruz guarded earlier by Oliano. You also have Purdy right here. And Ernest Reyes got away from the defense of Purdy. Ball still live on the floor in the hands of Pagya. Miscommunication. Thought there was someone to locate there.
Well, he thought somebody was at the corner for an open three.
That was a referee in their nice red Titan referee jerseys. You must like that.
Definitely.
This is a crucial stretch. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining here in this ball game. Pateros up by just 4 points. And Malolos here has enough experience, has enough chemistry to be able to take this away. But then the difference right now for Nick Velasco and the rest of them, they've got Purdy. Big playmaker and nice feed right there to the corner, finding the open man with a long two bomb right there. Kabahug making him pay.
That's a huge play for Pateros because that allows them now as another option. That Purdy, I like how they're not starting off with Purdy. They're starting off with Cofield first and then getting a handoff and then a pick and roll. When he attacks that basket, Kabahug made himself available for that two-point shot.
That was a big catch by Oliana off of that missed shot by Malolos, giving them an opportunity. Less than a minute remaining. Could this be the first victory of Pateros using his body? Cofield couldn't get it down. 41 seconds to go. Malolos still looking for answers with Nick Velasco controlling the board. Ahead to Kabahug. Kabahug will try to bring this down against the defense of Malolos. Paul Vincent De La Cruz.
And that's why Coach Nick Velasco is there. He's able to get those crucial defensive boards to be able to keep that separation between Pateros and Malolos.
What do they need to do here, Dominic, to hang on to this 90-84 lead?
Well, first and foremost, they got to get the ball inbounds. And then they actually don't need to make an attempt. Milk that clock, finish it. They're up 6 points. Definitely will be able to secure that win. But obviously, Malolos knows that, and they will foul the Pateros associates.
Third foul on Dominic Fajardo, putting them in penalty, and Purdy's shooting will be tested from that free throw line. What do you like about him?
About Purdy, Purdy's just, the good thing about him is when he was scoring, when he was hot, he was knocking down those shots. But also in the end, he had enough confidence in his teammates to be able to find the open man and get that jumper. And this is also, part of it. Once you get tired, free throws are a little bit harder to knock down.
It's his first trip to the line tonight. 50%. And we'll be calling for a quick timeout on the floor. And Coach Taya right here, he's gonna need to think things through with only 28.68 seconds remaining. I mean, what are the chances still for Malolos?
Well, definitely 7-point lead, 28.68 seconds left. It's gonna be difficult, but they gotta go for a quick three. Obviously they will look for Ernie Reyes to be able to get a quick three or a quick two, and then they need to be able to put that pressure back on. Something we haven't really seen in the second half, something that really did them well in the first 2 quarters.
Should Pateros go on to win this ball game, what do you credit this victory to, apart from Purdy?
It's definitely that chemistry that they have found. Sometimes it takes longer than others, and it looks like they've got a good mix of players with 2 new additions in Purdy, and even Coach Nick Velasco sacrificing himself to be able to help them out on the court, not just from the side of the court.
Malolos Mighty Bulsus have won against Marikina Wangs, and they've won against Quezon City UP Fighting Maroons, and they've lost to Pampanga and NU. Could this next game, this particular game right here, could this be another loss for them? Now, Coach Nick Velasco and the rest of them making sure that they come out of this with their first victory.
Well, they don't want to end the first round without a win, obviously, and that's a good defensive stop para dito sa Pateros. And one thing about Pateros is you talk about the maturity, making better decisions in the end game. You lose ball games because of not having good decisions, and so far they've been able to make the right decisions by moving that ball, getting those defensive and offensive rebounds, sacrificing themselves in playing defense first before wanting to win the basketball game on the road.
So after the Malolos Mighty Bulsu came out of their championship conquest in the Uklaa, they taste their first loss really in a long stretch because they won all their assignments in Uklaa, and coming now in the FBA, I guess their chemistry, their character, and everything was tested. And it's because of Coach Nick Velasco and the rest of them, their efforts. And of course, you have to point out Purdy as well, that are now securing their first win here in the FBA. And you must be really excited for that one.
Oh, definitely. For Pateros, you know, it's the monkey off their backs to be able to get that first win, to be able to believe in themselves, to believe in the system of Coach Ali and Coach Nick Velasco, to be able to try and move forward in the second round. Definitely something that they needed to get things in the right direction for their team.
Not just a monkey off their back, but a huge gorilla off their back. The Pateros Associates finally winning their first game, and the Malolos Mighty Bulsu will now have a 2-3 win-loss record at the end of this first round of eliminations of the second conference of the FBA. And Pateros Ama's victory came at the right time. Looking ahead now with Purdy on this lineup to that second round, what else can you expect from
for
Pateros?
sure, he's going to be a marked man in their next few games. And Purdy, you know, one thing I like about him, you know, he was able to score, but at the same time, when he needed to dish that basketball right there, could have been the biggest play off the ball game for them, something they could breathe about. Finding Kabahog open for that two-point shot to be able to secure their first win.
Pateros has always won it, has always had it, had what it takes to win, but they just needed one vital cog, and now the puzzle is complete.
It looks like it for Pateros that they have their 5 guys on the floor working well together. Now it's about being consistent in the next games.
Well, Dom, thanks so much for joining us. On behalf of Dominic Uy and the rest of the people here at your FBA, coming from the Trinity University of Asia, we thank all of you guys for joining us. I'm Patricia Bermuda Tizon. This is your FBA.